Here's Tapper on the moment that Obama had to walk Biden off the stage during that event with George Clooney.
And we should note that the Biden White House falsely, when people showed that clip and asked what was going on, said it was a cheap fake. They did this all the time. In the arena, Congresswoman Annie Kuster, Jon Favreau, former Obama chief speechwriter, and others, just from that event and Biden walking towards the edge of the stage, thought, oh my God, something is wrong here. He's not going to make it.
All right, Kari Lake joins us tonight, senior advisor to the U.S. Agency for Global Media. Kari, good to see you. So wait a minute. The White House and the handlers, the political handlers, said something that's not true? Jake Tapper doesn't know how to handle that.
Oh, man. And you know, he bought everything the Biden White House said, hook, line, and sinker. Unfortunately for the American people, they spread a bunch of lies. But listen, it didn't take a genius or even somebody with a medical background to watch Joe Biden and realize something was wrong. I mean, remember, he couldn't find his way across the White House lawn to the White House door. They had to help him off of stage. Little children could see that something was wrong with this man, and Jake Tapper is now trying to act like he was oblivious to it. Nice try, Jake. I think this is a CYA move because he knows that as a member of the mainstream media, he was part of the intentional deception of the American people. The mainstream media was deceiving America on so many different aspects under the Biden administration and what they were doing when it comes to the border, when it comes to policies that were hurtful to Americans, when it comes to their disastrous foreign policy. And this was their way of now coming out and just washing their hands of it and saying, oh, we didn't know anything about it. Give us a break. We know that you knew. Everybody knew something was wrong. And he was the biggest guy covering it up. And now he's trying to, like I said, wash his hands of it.
CYA, I like that. Ruben Gallego, the senator from your state of Arizona, releasing an amnesty plan for illegals living in the United States. This is exactly what we knew was coming. They were going to get them all in. And then say, oh, let's get the border secure now that we've got our 20 million future voters, and then we'll just rapidly get them through and get them amnesty and get them voting. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, I predicted it. He's always been for amnesty. I mean, this is a guy who has family ties to the Mexican cartels in the form of a relative, his father, who was a drug trafficker for the cartels. That's fact. And so this is somebody who's very sympathetic to what's been happening in Mexico with the cartels running the show. He's absolutely pro-open borders. We saw that with his voting record. Only for a brief moment did he try to change it up when he was running, and now he's back to his old self again. And it's really frightening because if this kind of person gets back into power, if we ever get a Democrat administration like the Joe Biden administration, that's exactly what they'll push for. That's where we have to get behind President Trump and sending people who are here illegally back home, a homecoming for them with their relatives, and freeing us up from the burden.
That's why they're fighting so hard to keep them here. Kari Lake, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.